We are reappointing.
That was my understanding. Thank you, Mr. Eaton. I
Second.
need a second.
Second.
I got a second for Mr. Brown to be reappointed to that committee. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving to the Drill Community Center.
Can I do these as a slate?
Yes, sir.
Madam Chair, I'd like to appoint this slate to the Drill Community Center.
All right, we have a slate of volunteer service folks for the Drill Community Center. We have a motion and a second, right?
We don't have a second, but I'll make it.
Steve,
No.
I thought you made that second.
I didn't, but I will.
Okay, I apologize. Thank you. All right, any discussion further? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving along to the Heart of Appalachia, Ms. Gordon is up for a 2-year term. She served a term for someone else. I can't remember exactly how that
Madam
happened.
Chair, I looked down there, and are we still carrying Heather on that? That's the latest slate that I saw.
No, right now, and I am the acting DMO for it, and Shiloh just being appointed. This is the community.
Well, that's what I was going to
rep.
say. She probably should be the one
Yes.
that goes on there as their economic.
Yeah, I'm sitting on it for the DMO till we get it transferred to her and through the HOA.
So I'll entertain a motion for Maddie Gordon.
I'll make it.
Thank
Second.
you, Mr. Eaton. Thank you, Mr. Breeding. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Citizen comment period. We've got 3 minutes. Anybody? Ms. McBride?
I didn't come just to say, please give us money. It is the season for giving. I'll be brief. I have a present for you. I love maps, and I found that although VDOT keeps their own copies, State Library had a 1930s map of Russell County, a VDOT map of the roads. The ones that are improved, the ones that are not improved, ones that have hard surface, and it's not exactly accurate. Anyone that looks at the road to date will go, oh no, that road's nowhere near that straight. But I have a present for you, so I don't know if you want it, you want to keep it, or if you want to, frame it or whatever, but I was so intrigued. I love old maps. So it's a present for the county.
That is very nice.
Thank you.
Tim said didn't change much in his area.
Doesn't change a bit. It looks the same.
It's still dirt road.
Yeah, I can use that. Still.
Say, look, 1932. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. And I will ask that we somehow figure out how to frame that little thing and hang it up.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, she brought it by the office, and I thought it was a great idea. And we took a brief look at it, and I'm going, oh my God. It is straight.
I'm anxious to look at that. Thank you, Ms. McBride. Any more for public comment? I'll close the public comment period or citizens comment period. Constitutional officers, reports
None
and
present,
requests.
ma'am. None present.
All right, next we've got the county attorney reports and requests.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The only thing that I have is what it is a revised moral obligation regarding the Lebanon Inn. The IDA has requested. It's a good thing. It changes the original moral obligation that the county entered back in 2012 from $1 million to lessen the amount to $740,000. So the agreement that the moral obligation that you have before you is verbatim what was approved back in 2012, with the exception of it didn't say between the Board of Supervisors. It just said the County of Russell, which is not the correct legal entity name. And I updated the address from the P.O. Box to the physical address. But other than that, it's verbatim the same. Lonzo did contact me this afternoon asking about maybe putting some kind of term in there, I guess, for how long it's applicable. But that will be up to VSBFA. They will have to agree to approve it. And right now we have a moral obligation that is is legal and in force and effect. So my advice, I don't mind to check on it. I've talked to Ernie, and he said he gave me a contact that I could call. But I guess my advice to the board, because I know the IDA is requesting this to finalize some work they're doing on the project, to approve it subject to final approval of legal counsel, with the understanding I can't make BSBFA agree to anything, but I'll try.
Okay, I appreciate you reaching out for that information. I was inquisitive about that, and several more of us were, I think, also. So at this time, I will accept a motion to support the moral obligation for the Russell County IDA.
Motion to approve, Madam Chair, pending final review of council.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the board? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Moving on to Mr. Lester, County Administrator reports and requests.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First on the County Administrator reports is, of course, one of the big topics that's going through the state right now that we're going to have a lot of meetings on is the Virginia Opiate Abatement Authority. This is the regulations through the Opiate Abatement Authority that Senator Pillion sets on. And in the board members' packets, I put quite a lot of information and details and regulations and what is going to be with the board. But in my report, my request to the Board of Supervisors chairperson, I would like to have 2 board of supervisors appointed to a committee to review this to be allocated and expended. That is part of what we call the gold standards for best practices, and that's one of the requirements of the APA, the Auditors of Public Accounts. Ma'am.
Yes, sir. And I have taken your request into consideration, and my choice for these committees will be Rebecca Dye and Steve Breeding. My reasoning is Ms. Dye now serves the county on the, help me out, Ms. Dye, Road to Recovery houses. And Mr. Breeding is very familiar with this program because he has been the up front for recovery in Lebanon. And so I'm sending you off with all kinds of information. It's more information than I know what to do with. But the gold standard, I have read on that. And I do expect us to have that and take care of it. I'm sending you all out with that challenge.
I think it just makes sense to go ahead and do it. You get an additional 15% comes directly to the county.
Yes, from the OAA.
Yeah.
You've read all that. 2 pots of money. Two parts of.
All right, so do you all accept my challenge?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Next on the county administrator request is, of course, the VDOT highway update. And as in the board members packet, of course, this is the update on the projects. But one of the ones I wanted to emphasize on that we'll be publishing out is there will be a bridge inspection over the railroad over Route 661 on Outtrip Road will be closed on December the 15th between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. for completion of the inspection. So that bridge will be closed. So I need to make note of that in the minutes, but also we'll make public notice. Next on the county administrator request reports is, of course, the VACO Local Government Day. This is the day that all the board supervisors around the state of Virginia attend to talk to VACO and their other county peers and concerning the upcoming legislation. But it's also a time that we also go and ask for additional funds and programs and lobby for the county to see what is up for the next year. So what I need from each board member is to give us notice if you plan to attend so we can make the reservations, get everything scheduled. If you have any special meetings that you want to attend or commissioners you want to talk to, give us a little note. We'll make the schedules. We've got a few that we've already started on already, so let me know and I will schedule those.
I will be attending. I just want to let you know.
and Steve. Okay. And
Thank you, guys. And if I may, Mr. Lester, point out there's going to be an opioid meeting January 19th in Richmond,
Yes.
and that's the time that we are up there for those meetings. And I will be hosting some of these receptions as your Virginia Planning District President. So I will be there also, Mr. Lester, and I've already made my arrangements. It's taken care of.
thank you, Madam Chair. So with Mr. Breeding and Ms. Dye being put on the opiate committee, you'll be attending? Okay, I will go ahead and register you then.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Eaton, don't forget, did anybody else, Mr. Lovelace? He's shaking his hand.
Do you want to come to the opiate meeting too, David?
He's going to the rural
Caucus.
and everything. Yes, his intention
And I
is to.
probably will.
We'll send out an email just to confirm with you.
Yeah, I've got my itinerary, and anybody that wants to join me in any of the meetings I already have set up is welcome.
Okay. Send that to us, David, and we'll put all that out. Thank you, sir. Next on the county administrator is the county administrator request is the Russell County DSS CSA supplement allocation that I had in the board packet. This is to supplement the fostering program, foster care program. I need a motion and approval for the CSA supplement application for FY23.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Okay, I'll take 1 second, Ms. Vance, whoever you choose. We had several up here. So anyway, we have for the request for the Russell County DSS supplement allocation for 2023. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next on the county administrator request is approval of the abstracts of votes off the November the 8th, 2022 general election for the House of Representatives of District 9, the Mayor of Cleveland, the Mayor of Honaker, and the member of the Town Council of Levington, and the Town Council of Cleveland, and the Town Council of Honaker. I need approval on all of those.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion. We approve all those and certify those election results.
Thank you, Mr. Breeding. I need a second.
Second.
We got several. She can pick one. So, okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Next on the county administrator request is the Christmas holiday schedule. This came down from the Virginia Supreme Court that was in the board's packet. As y'all can see that hang on just a second, I apologize. On the schedule for the 23rd, that was an additional day that was given. I think it was in the packet for the Virginia Supreme Court, and it's at the pleasure of the board of supervisors whether they want to convey that same time to the county employees. I will need a motion on that.
What's the board's pleasure?
We've always given them the same holidays.
I'll entertain a
So
motion, Ms.
that'll be
Dunn.
the 22nd
22nd, 23rd.
Third, yes,
or
sir.
23rd's on us.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. I have a motion. I need
I'll
a second.
Or second.
Horace, thank you. All in favor or any discussion further? Are we good? I'm sorry, I'm racing on. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
Now, the next one is also an authorization for holiday pay for part-time employees for any holiday pay that's incurred during this time, working during the holidays. I need approval for that.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Ma'am, before we end the county minister request, of course, just to make the board aware, the January 2nd, 2023 board is on. That's the first Monday for the reorganization. That is a holiday. So we will need to do a public notice. It is on the schedule for right now, and that is the first Monday.
So we need to advertise for a date after that holiday, which is the 2nd of January.
It's on
What
the,
about-
What are you doing on the following day?
What about Tuesday
that's
the
at the
3rd?
pleasure of the board. It's at the pleasure of the.
I'll entertain a motion for that.
Yeah.
Tuesday the
I'll-
3rd.
I'll make a motion Tuesday the 3rd.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to have our next meeting, January 3rd, 2023. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That concludes the county administrator reports and requests, ma'am.
And that looks like that takes care of our packet tonight. So with that, I will ask for board discussion and reminders. Mr. Lovelace, you got anything?
Just, it was really good to see in the VDOT report, Tumbez Hollow and Thomas Warner projects are finished and Lance Davis has been started. So that's really good to see that stuff happening.
I agree. Thank you. Mr. Ray?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Very good. Mr. Eaton?
I've only got one thing, Madam Chair. I would like for the board to consider sending out a letter of support to keep the Withful testing laboratory opened. I went to a meeting and it was packed out. We had our local veterinarians there. We had a lot of the Farm Bureau and a lot of farmers and a lot of agriculture people there speaking in regards to the county supporting keeping this lab opening, because if we lose this lab, we're going to have to go all the way to Virginia Tech for testing, and that's probably not going to be a good thing. One is you've got to have a referral from a veterinarian to be able to take your animal there, and it's going to be cost prohibited. And also, you're talking about from Lee County and Wise having to, they have a hard time driving all the way to Whiffle. Can you imagine having to drive all the way to Virginia Tech? So I would like to see the board, Madam Chair, send a letter of support to our local legislators and also a letter to the Secretary of Agriculture to keep the Whiffle Laboratory open. And I don't know if I need to do that in a motion, ma'am. I know motion's probably not at this time, but can we do that?
We'll make sure that that we are all, there's a consensus here that we all agree that we will support
Thank you.
that through a letter. And remember to reach out to your legislators, and when you're visiting with them or calling them, and let them know how you feel about that. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Eaton, is this one of the meetings that you're having with VDAC during the
Yes,
January
ma'am.
meeting?
Yes, sir. Yes. I'm hoping I've got a meeting scheduled with the Secretary of Ag. I've been in contact with the Commissioner out of Pulaski County. He's coming down here. Let me give you a little history. This laboratory is the only one that does fish. And we've got one of the largest fish processing facilities going in up here in Russell County, partnering with the other counties. So I'm really concerned in regards to this. We just need to make sure that we don't lose this opportunity. We want to make sure we don't lose anything in Southwest Virginia. So I just want to make sure that we really push the envelope on this, and especially if you're in Richmond, be able to talk to them, make sure that this lab stays open.
I know right now that just in short and sweet, our animal shelter, when we test out skunks and raccoons, and this is one of the facilities that we use too. It hit that, and the co-op utilizes this also. So they have put that on their radar too. So I'll draft up a letter of support.
It'll be a financial hardship on all the counties in Southwest if we have to get it at Blacksburg. Madam Chair, I really don't have anything other than to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mr. Breeding.
Kudos on that.
No, I'll just ditto what Steve said. I hope everyone has a nice Christmas and enjoys themselves and relaxes. So,
Mr. Christian?
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all.
Thank you, sir. And same from your chairperson here. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everything that this county is trying to do to move us forward. And I thank you for the opportunity to serve. So with that, I will adjourn this meeting inside